welcome back to my vlog. Today's subject is going to be a big one. Mental health and how we need to change the way we get help for our mental health in our country and maybe a lot of other countries in the world. For me, I've been thankful and grateful that I've been able to obtain getting a counselor, a psychiatrist, and any other kind of mental health advocates that I've needed along my journey. I have been sick since the age of 13 and have had many other issues along the way. A lot of heartbreak and a lot of pain, but through counseling, it has helped me and gave me the tools that I need to survive. Now, if I didn't learn the things that I learned through having somebody to talk to, that may be a lot different. I may not be sitting here today telling you how I feel about mental health now. And I'm passionate about it because I know what keeping myself sane up here and in here does for me, right? I know what it does, and I know what tools I use. I'm a poet. I put so much emotion on paper, but it gets me through everything, right? I meditate daily. I exercise daily. These are all things that I've learned that have been powerful in getting me through. Every morning, the first thing I do is make my bed. So my room is organized. I feel organized. I don't feel chaotic, and I don't feel like there's so much going on. The next thing I do is I roll out my yoga mat and I do 20 minutes of yoga. Then I do 10 to 15 minutes of just core exercise. I get my heart rate going because it's so good to build the endorphins, right? Something else I've learned through therapy. After that, I spend 20 minutes of meditation, guided meditation. I use an app that's called Silvana. It's a great app. If you're looking for some meditation apps, that's a good one. I also use Fragrant Heart. I do their morning prayer every morning. And I also pray, right? I'm very grateful to be able to have a connection with God or whoever you may think is up there, right? The universe and I, we talk. Also, every morning I do a gratitude journal. Every morning I am grateful. I'm grateful to get out of bed. I'm grateful to be able to write. I'm grateful to be able to walk. I'm grateful for a lot of things. And every day I write 3 of them down. 3 simple things that I am grateful for. Then I go and reflect. I reflect on that morning. I reflect on what I'm feeling. And by reflecting, I get off anything else that I hadn't gotten off, right? Anything that I hopefully didn't go to bed with, but may have, right? If I didn't sleep well the night before, then there's definitely emotions still in my head that I just didn't realize I needed to write down before I went to bed. Those are keys for me. They're very vital. And sometimes after my reflection, I'll write down some words in my poetry journal. Just words, right? Just basic words. Reflection, write a journal and write a poem about that. Loss, write a poem about that. You know, sadness, write a poem about that. Happiness, write a poem about that. Because when I put my words on paper, writing them, I now put the emotion there. So now let's go back to mental health, because I use all those tools to help me stay mentally healthy. I do have a counselor, and I call her when I need her. Not that she's always the easiest to get a hold of. I do have one. I also have health insurance. Now, my problem is I hear quite often, I don't have health insurance. I can't afford it. But I know friends that are dealing with terrible anxiety, or just have past traumas they want to get past, or they just don't know why they feel so jumbled in their head, or they just feel pain from the past that they just can't get rid of, right? And they want help, but they can't afford it. They don't have the insurance for it. And some even see the effect, the financial effect it'll have, right? So you go to a counselor, you start there. Then you need to go to a psychiatrist, a PhD doctor, right? So who can give you medicine, because, right, if you have any anxiety or PTSD, or who knows, if you have any numerous mental disorders, you need something, right, to balance out the chemicals in your brain. And if you don't have the money for it, by the time you get to that doctor, and now you realize you got to pay for a script and you got to come back every 2 weeks or every week or every month, you're now thinking dollar signs, dollar signs, dollar signs. And you're like, I'm not coming back. Why do I want to come back? I can't afford this. We should be able to give people that want to gain their mental health back, or at least get back to where they were before it affects their home life, their financial life, their love life, in ways that they didn't see coming because they were trying to deal with the one problem they did see. But we couldn't give it to them, right? Counselors weren't readily available for them. When I was living in New Orleans, I'll never forget, my anxiety was at peak high. I was going through a lot. My house got robbed, and I was going through health issues. I had to walk away from a prestigious college, one of the reasons why I went there, and I was dealing with a lot. When I made a call to see a counselor, They told me they couldn't get me in for 2 to 4 weeks. I knew that if I waited 2 to 4 weeks, I would have been a bigger mess than I already was. So I did the one thing I knew I could. I went to an ER, which still ended with, here's an appointment for 3 weeks from now. That should never happen. Nobody should have to wait that long. There should be somebody where you can pick up the phone, call them, and get them on the line to have a conversation with, right? The crisis lines. I don't know about anybody else, but I've had a hard time with crisis lines. I don't always get somebody on the phone. Usually it's an answering machine and somebody calls me back. But nobody should have to wait. If they want help, they should get it. If they can't afford it, then there should be a system in play where it can be made affordable, where prescriptions can be made affordable. I know that there's companies out there that have affordable prescriptions. Yes, there is. But what about therapists? Are there affordable therapists out there? If you're an affordable therapist, then I want you to take this video, share it, and say, I am. I'm affordable. I'll work with you on what you make and what you can afford. Because if we can't help change mental illness, mental awareness, just mental, right? If we can't get our own heads together, how do we go forward, right? We just keep getting back into the same groove, same pattern, same thing we do every day. Is it really getting us forward? Are we really pushing forward? We live in a time now that more people are scared, right? The era of COVID. For myself, I've been asked many times, and a lot of people have been scared, be safe, Liz, be safe, COVID. But I never let that scare me, because I don't believe in the word fear, first of all. Fear is just a word that some human heard and turned into a noun and a verb. And it's given too much power and consumes humans every day and hour. Just remember that. There's a difference between fear and being scared. You can be scared. That's okay, right? We're all human. We're allowed to be scared. But fear is like adding extra bricks on top of you, right? Carrying more weight than you need. So I never was scared. I did what I needed to protect myself. And if I had any signs or symptoms, I made a phone call to my doctor. So we're living in an era where that's a thing. People should be able to pick up the phone and call a psychiatrist or a therapist, a third-party, unbiased person that they can communicate how they feel and work it out, right? Someone that can help them obtain awareness in their situation so they can work it through. Mental health needs to be fixed in my country and probably a lot of other countries. We need to make it obtainable, affordable, and just something that people want to go and do. Nobody should be scared of a therapist, because you need somebody. We all need somebody to talk to, vent to, and it's good to have somebody that doesn't know you, because it's an unbiased party, someone that can make things move for you. So here's what I have to say. If you are struggling out there and your everyday life just seems overwhelming, before you go to bed, write out your schedule. That's huge. Now you're not overwhelmed what you're going to do the next day and when you're going to do it. Then write all your emotions on paper. Write about what you thought about the day, how you felt about the day. And then the next morning, when you get out of bed, make your bed, right? Just make it. Make it feel calm, right? That's your place of calm. You sleep there. Make it so it's neat. Then, in any order you want, write 3 things you're grateful for. Do some form of exercise. And then just reflect. Reflect on what you're going to do that day, how you feel that you're going to do it, and how you're going to get past how you feel. Because those things are important. Exercise is huge in my life. When I become overwhelmed, feel anxious, or have a PTSD attack, I'll put on my running shoes and run. You can do the same thing. I also hope that if you are searching out counseling advice, reach out to somebody and see if they will get you in. If not, reach out to me. I'll be glad to talk to you. In this day and age, we all need somebody to talk to, because mental health needs to have a place where people can get it, where they can feel loved, safe, and just overall protected on what they have to say. There's a lot of emotions that we as humans go through. Nobody should feel scared to have to go through them. So if you're a counselor or you know a counselor and they want to help make change in this industry, send them this video. Tell them that they should start a program where people that don't have insurance or the finances to afford them or other places that provide it, a way that they can get it. Start putting advertisements out for that instead. And also, add more therapists to groups, right? Nobody should have to wait. There shouldn't be a wait or a cap on how long somebody has to wait to get the help they need. So let's make change. Let's make change together. Because you know what? If we can change up here and what's in here to maybe the person that we want to be, we all can make a better world for ourselves and the ones that follow, the children that are going to follow in the next generation. So, always love, always light,